Good afternoon and good morning, wherever you are. Throughout this forum, we found Asia and the Pacific region is facing immense challenges, meeting large financing gap for transforming food system in a sustainable and resilient way. ADB need to support food system transformation by leveraging on private and public partnership and providing innovative knowledge solution. ADB can play an important role in catalyzing public and private capital and channeling it into food system transformation. The first ADB publication that we are launching today, titled Financing Sustainable and Resilient Food System in Asia and the Pacific, discuss the ways to close large financing gap through public and private actions and recommend actions for ADB to support the sustainable and resilient transformation of food system in Asia and the Pacific, leveraging banks' knowledge capacity and financial instrument. I give this floor to Mr. Shingo Kimura, Senior Natural Resource and Agriculture Specialist from ADB, to present this publication. He is a team leader who led the preparation of this report. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Samsup, for kind introductions. Let me share my screen. Is it okay? Okay, so on behalf of three authors, myself and Kevin Chen and Qingfan Zhang, I would like to briefly introduce the publication we made on financing sustainable and resilient food system in Asia Pacific. We published in October. So just let me start explaining the motivation of this publication. Most of us who are working on this sector, agriculture sector, was seeing in our sector as supply of food for human dietary needs. But we have been looking at primarily on agriculture production, infrastructure, and technologies. But we are more and more realizing that these issues in food and agriculture sector is much beyond food productions, food security, and rural development, and has many interlinkages with our development agenda. For example, for our ADB's operational priority, the food and agriculture sector has strong linkage with all of those: poverty, gender, climate change, city governance, regional cooperation that we have discussed in this forum. So that's why we are calling more for the food system approach instead of focusing on particular segment or particular sector approach. And also, if we look at the, we are also looking at beyond food production, but also looking at whole food supply chain, from production to the consumption. In other words, from the farm to fork. Because even if you're talking about greenhouse gas emissions, probably local productions can reduce emission from transportation, but if production has very big emissions, it will not achieve our goal. So we really need to look at whole supply chain instead of each segment of supply chain. So the food system approach, we take holistic view on food supply chain from the production to consumption. So that's why we are trying to adopt this approach. And then as we discuss in many occasions in this forum, we have many actions to take for sustainable and resilient transformation food system. I don't go into detail. So if you look at this figure, according to this Food and Land Use Coalitions, this hidden cost of global food system is exceeding actually market value of global food system. So as I said, the health consequences, obesity, undernutrition, or environmental, impacts, footprint, greenhouse gas emission, natural capital degradation, and rural welfare, food losses. If you add up all those hidden costs, it actually, some estimates say it's exceeding global market value of global food system. So, but the problem, fundamental problem, that is that we are not internalizing those externalities. So the question is how we public sector can intervene so that those externality can be internalized. So there are many actions we need to take, but financing is particularly the big challenges. Some estimates say annual investment requirement for transformation of food and land use system will be between 300 billion to 350 billion by 2030, but we are far below those targets. And if we look at this constraint, of course, for public sector, we have budgetary pressure. We have a lot of expenditure for COVID-19. They have less resources to look at more long-term issues. And also financial terms, they said we need a long-term investment, but the capital is to be short-term. So we have a maturity mismatch. And also there's a high risk associated to agriculture sector investment, as we discussed, but there are limited risk mitigation measures available. And the sector is dominated by small and medium-sized enterprises, but there's a high transaction cost for the financial institution provide capital to those SMEs. And more fundamentally, we have lack of valuation of natural capitals and the environmental footprint that makes us difficult to internalize those costs. So that's something we identify the big constraint to scale up our financing. And of course, at the farm level, the farmer have less incentive or sometimes no incentive to internalize those costs because they only take a look at the price signals and product produce. So that's a bit brief background, and this publication was supposed to provide some guidance for ADB and other stakeholders in the regions and also how ADB can operationalize this concept of food system transformations. And indeed, this project started, was continuing whole year last year, and we had a number of consultations on these issues. Like in 2021, we organized, for example, 6 ADB sustainable food webinar series. We have been discussing this issue whole year, and then that's part of the motivation is that we had a very big momentum of UN Food System Summit 2021 in September, and we also organized this independent dialogue on the food system, summit in Mongolia in June 2021. So this publication has been an ongoing process. As a result of many dialogue and discussion within ADB and other stakeholders, and we published this publication in October 2021. So just let me summarize. I'm not going to detail the whole publication, but the publications recommend 3 actions basically. And the first action is to provide innovative financial instrument to unlock private investment. So first, then the report present many examples, and you can take a look at the publication. But if you see public capital can take more risk and crowding private investment, that's very important functions of public capitals. And according to, for example, IFC's Global Agriculture and Food Security Program, $1 of public investment can bring in $5.3 of private investment. So that shows that the financial institution like us can play a catalytic role to crowd in private investment to advance these food system transformations. And for example, also we have seen many innovation in ADB projects that making use of financial intermediations instruments to connecting different pool of capital to SME financing. For example, we are highlighting this PLC's Anhui Hanshan project that established the financial pool to finance organic farming and also invest in those SMEs to adopt those sustainable practice. And we all know those shift to more regenerative agriculture takes time. So that's why we need to bridge this the temporary loss of farm income in a transition. So typically the transition to organic farming takes 3 years operating loss, and then it has to come with some support that can affordable for the farmers. That's why there's some needs of this transitional financing, and also in general, there's a big financing movement going to the green financing, but there's less going to food system transformation. So how we can bring more capital to this green financing channeling to the food system transportation. So the report recognizing this opportunity and stressing importance of valuations, establishing valuation of natural capital and standardizing financial products on this. The detailed example will be explained in the report. And second actions is about use of digital technologies that we have been discussed so much in this forum. So we see technology as offering new financial models for food system transformation in terms of climate change mitigations, adaptation, sustainable use of natural resource, reducing food loss and waste. We had a lot of discussion. We have a session on this. We are also highlighting some of the development of e-commerce platform and how in PLC and how this kind of digitalization of food supply chain are reducing, for example, food waste and environmental footprint throughout food supply chain and bringing more economic opportunities to farmers. The third actions is more about supporting the government to reorient public finance and policy institutions. We are recently discussing repurposing agricultural subsidies. According to the estimate of OECD, out of 536 billion provided annually in the public support to farmers, only 2/3 is provided through means that distort farm business decisions. So we have large opportunity of reallocating those distortive environmental harmful support to more sustainable policy objective. And we have seen many innovative financial policy and financial instruments like environmental tax, payment for environmental services. We've seen already in the PLC in introducing those instruments. Many times we hear the opportunity of carbon credit system, which is part of the tradable permit system. And even previous session, we talk about a lot about traceability and eco-labeling that allow farmer to capture some value that allow consumer to to cover the cost of additional action by farmers to take environmental and the climate smart agricultural production system. So finally, the report provided some suggestion, and as we have discussed in whole forum, the ADB can play more the platform of collaboration between government, international organizations, universities, and also the private sectors on those 3 key actions. And we are particularly suggesting to establish this financial financing structuring facility that's called Innovative Natural Capital Financing Facility that is now under preparations by the STCC team at this moment. Beyond that, I think we have also discussed in the preceding session natural capital variation. So I think this idea is now materializing within the ADB. So I think with that, I will stop my presentation. So thank you very much. And I'm looking forward to discuss a little bit about this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kimura. Oops. Yeah, thanks, Mr. Kimura, for excellent presentation. Another important study that we are sharing today is the Cambodia Agriculture, Natural Resources, and Rural Development Sector Assessment Strategy and Roadmap. This publication assesses, among other, that Cambodia has forgone many value addition opportunity despite its rich agriculture and natural resources. It further highlights the urgent need to build domestic capacity for processing and adding value to the agriculture product. Please welcome Mr. Takeshi Ueda, the Principal Natural Resource and Agriculture Economist at Asian Development Bank here with us to present this publication. Over to you, Mr. Ueda.
Thank you very much, Sansep. Good evening and good morning and good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, let me just start. This is not like what Shingo has presented. This is kind of regular ADB exercise in order to kind of strategize ADB's assistance to developing member countries. So it's standard exercise, and I just want to give you some flavor of how it's done, and details are all in the report. So I just touch upon the key portion and outline. Okay, so I'll first explain about what this exercise is about, then getting into this specific sector assessment very briefly, and strategies, and how we come up with this assessment eventually as key strategic areas, and then actually pick one key area, strategic area of assistance to see how it's going to be operationalized. Yeah. So sector assessment strategy and roadmap. This is a core and a routine activity, an operations knowledge product to inform planning for lending and non-lending knowledge products and services. And this is combined analytical, strategic, and a planning tool, an integral part of the sector and thematic work needed for country and project planning, and to inform ADB support to ADB's developing member countries. There are three components. First one is assessment, and second one is strategy of the government as well as ADB. Then lastly, draw roadmap. So these are the three steps of this exercise. So this publication can be fetched from our website. I just want to talk a bit about the country. So this is Cambodia's map, surrounded by Thailand, Laos, and Vietnam. And the total land area is about 181,000 square kilometer. And 30% of land is agricultural land, supported by water from the Mekong River and Tonle Sap Lake. Tonle Sap Lake is pretty big lake, like 2,700 square kilometer. So you can see this yellow kind of patches. I mean, that's paddy rice production, and light green part is crop production. Then you can see dark dark green forest area. So beautiful agriculture country. Okay, so sector assessment, country context. So overall economy, I mean, 2 decades, Cambodia achieved over 7% of high economic growth from 94 to 2019. So they have performed very, very well. And another feature is high share of agriculture in gross domestic product, 22.1%. And this is the highest among lower middle income countries. So it's
Sorry, Takashi with the sun, we cannot see your screen. I guess you forgot to share the screen.
Sorry, I'm very sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Yeah. Thank you for stopping me. Do you see screen now?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Great. Let me just go back to the map. Right. So yeah, I just explained this yellow portion is paddy, and the light green portion is other crop, and then dark green portion is forest. So this is how it looks, and you see in the middle, Tonle Sap Lake. It's a huge lake. Then there is Mekong River flowing on the kind of right middle part of this area, this Mekong River. Yeah. So right. So getting back to high share of agriculture in GDP, and in employment, it's about 32.3%. However, the agriculture sector growth has been slow, quite low. So it's likely that, this share of agriculture in GDP will decrease. Yeah. So COVID-19 impacts on supply side, based on the food prices, agriculture sector have done pretty well. So price-wise, it's quite stable for key commodities. But like demand side, or the farmers purchasing power, or non-farmers, they lost jobs. So the issue was more like loss of livelihoods and income of many households. And right, so government launched a cash transfer program to assist. Okay. So poverty situation, significant achievement from 2007. At that time, 47.8%, reduced to 9.5% in 2019. However, many of them are around the poverty line still. So there was kind of risk there. But this COVID kick in, then now this poverty rate increased up to almost 18% as of end of last year. So you can see how they are vulnerable. And then rural-urban disparity, this has been decreased as well. However, again, this COVID impact may have changed some this disparity which was closing. Then the other two facts, decreasing average land holds and widening inequality in land distribution. So government distributed some of the land for poor people, and land size, average land size is now about 1.3 hectare, and family size of 5, they can live on that, but they cannot really live comfortably. So it's really, I mean, they have to somehow, I mean, increase productivity within the limited land, or they have to go on to other income sources. So that's the kind of situation. Then lastly, decreasing share of farm income for rural population. So, I mean, it's already happening. You know, part of family members, they earn from outside, and that becomes important source of family income. Yeah, let me just move quickly, sorry. So sector assessment, there are 3 kind of aspects we covered. One is agriculture, then natural resources, and cross-cutting issues. I just touch upon these natural resources and water resources, limited irrigation, irrigated arable land. This country has only 20+ percentage of irrigated land. It's quite small compared to some other countries. So that's big area. And this investment in water is focused not so much of integrated approach, water resource management approach. So that's another area required some assistance. And weak O&M, right? So just cross-cutting issues, food security, safety, nutrition, and climate change and disaster risk. So these things are highlighted in this assessment. Okay, so strategies, we look into government strategies, national strategic development strategies, sector strategy, industrial development policy, and climate change strategy, plus ADB strategy. Then we draw this ADB's agriculture sector strategy for Cambodia. Okay, so there are 3 key areas. One is enhancing agriculture productivity. Next is strengthening agriculture value chains. And lastly, strengthening natural resources management and disaster resilience. Yep. So I just briefly show second key area, agriculture value chain. Only 10% of agriculture outputs are considered processed within the country, mostly going to Thailand, Vietnam, Korea, China, different countries for further processing. So that's the weakness. And so there are fewer areas like limited processing capacity, fragmented production, poor access to finance, weak rural road network, poor access to technologies. These things are all kind of factored into ADB's operation in agriculture value chain segment. So I'm just showing some of our ongoing projects as well as pipelines. And yep, I just finished here. Thank you very much.
Hi, Mr. Ueda. Thanks very much for your excellent presentation. Have a deep dive in Cambodia agriculture and rural development, following the Mr. Kimura's big picture thing. Now we have it about 8 minutes. I'd like to have it about 5 minutes for the open floor. Anyone who want the any questions? Any also suggestion from the floor? If you have it, please raise your hand or just put it in the chat box. Okay. Meanwhile, that since that nobody asked a question, that on the Mr. Kimura's presentation, in fact, very interesting. You mentioned about the undervalued food and natural system, right? Is that why that? Because of the one reason, perhaps that it is the due to the market failure. It might be some failure in terms of the system. So can you quickly elaborate, since we have to finish soon, so maybe I'll give 1 minute to respond.
Yeah, thank you, Samsung. Yeah, I mean, it has been always there, but it is very invisible, and we always calculate value of production, quantity of productions, and we have productivity is defined by output by input, but we didn't calculate this, for example, bad output or good, I mean, some output with some externalities like water quality, scenery, some negative, maybe some positive, and also some input sides. For example, agriculture use a lot of water, but sometimes it's not, there's no price on it. So it's basically there's no lacking of pricing markets for those invisible inputs, and also invisible outputs, which is beyond agriculture production or fertilizer or something that is marketed. So, but we are now a lot of discussions. We have also discussed in ADB forum before in a Das Gupta report talking about those value of biodiversity. So I think the discussion is very much advancing, and ADB should, I think, follow up all those emerging discussions on the variation of those non-market inputs and outputs. Yeah. Let me stop here. Thank you.
Thanks very much. To the Mr. Ueda, I have also one question for you. As also you have only 1 minute to go. Sorry about that. You recommend the three. You give the three recommendation. One, enhance agriculture productivity, enhance value chain agriculture sector, and also natural and then disaster risk. These are really big picture thing. But as a takeaway for the participant here, can you give the one or two very concrete investment option, the recommendation for Cambodia to revive or to enhance all those? Thank you.
Yeah. So thank you, Sonsop. Yep. So I mean, the direction of this, publication is Cambodia has huge agricultural resources and natural resources, but they are not harvesting enough. I mean, economic opportunities from it. So it's really this processing private sector capacity is crucial. So I would say this not only SME, but the agro-processing private sector, we have to somehow facilitate their investment through financial intermediary, lending, or some of the regulatory changes. So we can certainly help them in financing aspect. And the government, I see some government participation. I just want to say hi to Cambodian colleagues, but they can certainly check on their regulation to make an enabling environment for private sector. So those are the things that can be done. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Mr. Ueda and Mr. Kimura for excellent presentation, and also with very concrete recommendation. But key message you are giving to us, the challenge we are facing is daunting. Public sector alone, we cannot do that. It's very important to leverage the private sector financing, private sector technology, digital technology. We have to work together. And for that also, we need to create the enable ecosystem for that, the changing public institution and then the purpose. So this is excellent. And thank you very much for this. Also, I'd like to also thank you all participants. Also, someone particularly who provided the comment. Before closing, I'd like to also ask all participants. There's one the feedback looking for. So please check it, the feedback, provide the feedback for this session. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Ueda and Kimura, for excellent presentation. Thank you.